Good evening, folks, and welcome to a new look at DinamoTV as of this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate you being a part of us, having your company. We really enjoy it. My name's Tonchi Prusak. I'm the host, and apologies for that little bit of a rough start. The technological gremlins really got into the system, and hopefully that is the last of the little issues we've got. That's why we're running a little bit late, but nonetheless, we've got a massive show lined up for you tonight. So, folks, do strap yourselves in. We are going to have an absolute doozy of a show tonight. We've got it all. We really do have it all tonight. Some of the guests that we're going to be speaking or catching up with, Devante Kloot, former Sydney United player who now plays with Bankstown City Lions. I think that's the name of the team up in the New South Wales NPL. He's a full-time professional coach with Football Tech Academy, and they will be organising a 2-day training camp, holiday camp at Churchill Reserve next Monday and Tuesday for kids between the ages of 8 and 15. We'll find out a little bit more about what Football Tech is, and it's a very prestigious training organisation indeed. They are coming to Melbourne, and we are the partner, or the camp partners, if you like. A little later on in the show as well, we'll be talking to Afghani international and senior team member of the men's team, Zalfi Nazari. And just last week, he was involved in a World Cup qualifier for Afghanistan against Igor Stimatz's India. Yes, and Afghanistan won that game. So we'll catch up with Zalfi a little bit later on. He'll talk to us all about that experience, and also Dinamo's big game against Heidelberg United coming up this Friday. So apart from that, we had a big Australia Cup win over Geelong Rangers, 6-1 last Thursday, Holy Thursday at Churchill Reserve. We'll be speaking to two of the young guns from the 23s team who got their opportunity to play in the seniors. Luka Chabraya scoring his first senior goal, and Nicholas Murray as well. He'll be on as well before he has to go home back to Shepparton. That's right. So he's got a long trek ahead of him tonight. Nonetheless, we've got, as I said, massive show lined up. It really is going to be an exciting show, and we certainly hope that you'll be with us throughout the evening for this very special Wednesday night edition of DinamoTV. It is the 12th episode. Straight after this short commercial break from our main sponsor, the I&D Group, we will have tonight's news desk.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials, along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Welcome back to DinamoTV. It is time for the news desk. And before we go any further, do you like the new look of this press conference style studio? Tell us in the comments section, or do you prefer the old look? Let us know either way. We'd love to know your feedback. And also, why not tell us where you're tuning in from? last week we had an international guest all the way from Zagreb, Croatia, and we ended up having viewers from all over the globe. And that interview with Zaprešić boy, Ivan Novosel, really took DinamoTV global, that's for sure. Well, let's start off tonight's news desk with highlights from last Thursday night's Australia Cup Round 4 clash between St Albans Dinamo and Geelong Rangers. A good result, a great result, 6-1 in the end. And it was, I guess you could say it was a stroll in the park. But look, State 2 opposition, you never know. You always can come up against some tough teams. And on their night, they might be very well motivated. And there's always that thing called the cup set, isn't there? Where sometimes teams really want to do well against you and try and really take it to the team that is the odds-on favourite. Now, speaking of odds-on favourite, next round 5, as drawn by Football Victoria today, we have drawn East Bentley. Now, they are a State League 5 East side. Once again, you'd think that this would be an easy game, but not necessarily. Game will probably be played in early May and more than likely to be a midweek game. But Dinamo are drawn at home, but more details will be followed. Now, should we defeat East Bentley, and we certainly hope, and we certainly expect we will meet the winner of Green Gully or Ballarat City in round 6. So one of those two sides we will be meeting in round 6. Now, I guess the next thing is to look at the ladder, the competition standings, because now with the Australia Cup break over, if you like, all the attention turns to this week's game against Heidelberg, and that's going to be on Friday night. But before we do have a look at that, our own Ian Burke caught up with Ryan McGuffey, the senior men's head coach, after the Rangers win. And this is what Coach Ryan had to say.
Here once again with senior coach Ryan McGuffey. Ryan, a successful win and on to the next round of the Cup. What do you make of that?
Convincing. First half was, I knew it was going to be a tough game. First half, they're always going to raise their game, and respect to them and Alan's team. They played well and they held us at bay. We had a few chances, but they made it a contest. 2-0 up at half time. And I've said to them at half time, you've just got to move the ball quicker, they will tire, and then you've just got to be ruthless in front of goal.
Obviously, as part of the 23s squad, I'm wrapped that one of the goals was created and finished by 3 boys that have had plenty of minutes in the 23s.
Yeah, well, Luca, Nick and Nick Murray and Nick Bono all came in, and they all done themselves very proud. Bringing Nick down for goal, I've seen obviously a lot of potential in him, and he's done very well in the 23s. And Luca and Nick have been standouts and came on and raised the game again. And they've been doing that in training as well. They've been showing that in training, so they deserve to get their start, and getting their goals is really good.
And thoughts on the next round of the Cup? Like, obviously we don't have any control over it, but anyone that you would like, maybe an old team or someone from the same division in NPL 1?
Nah, to be honest, it doesn't matter who we get. I'd love a home tie just for the club, but it doesn't matter who we get.
On to next week, got a bit of a break over Easter. Happy Easter to all the Dinamo fans.
Yeah.
And then we're off to Heidelberg.
Yeah, happy Easter to all the Dinamo fans. I'm giving them a break over Easter, so we rested a few players tonight as well, just to try and get everyone, the whole squad fit, working along with Steph and John, which they're doing well. So hopefully we'll have a full squad of 23 fit and available for training on Monday night, which gives them obviously 3 days off to rest. Looking forward to the Heidelberg match next Friday, which will be another tough encounter.
No worries, good luck for that. Thank you
very much. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
And there we have it. There are the details of the Heidelberg game this Friday at Olympic Village. Kickoff is 7:30. On Monday at 7 p.m, the under-23s will be in action. And speaking of the under-23s, let's have a look at the ladder for the under-23s. So after round 7, Dinamo has 8 points and currently in 8th position. The seniors, they're in 10th position at the moment after 7 rounds, and they've got 7 points at the moment. All the teams now have played 7 games as a result of that. Once again, just quickly, the round 5, the Australia Cup round 5 clash, and that man, the Brenton Ray, the Western Suburbs newsman, he has got it all. He's in the comments section there. Thank you, Brenton. Thank you very much for that. Round 5 ties are scheduled April 23 to 24 or April 30, May 1st at Churchill Reserve. Now, the round 6 ties are scheduled to be played on May 14 or May 15 and or May 21, 22, once again, also at Churchill Reserve. So we've got some big midweek games happening coming up, I should say. So that's going to be really, really good. Really looking forward to that. And just lots of football coming up for all Dinamo fans over the next few weeks. Big shout out to Frankie Ivkovic. He says, I love the background, Taunchy. Rod Smith also says, easy draw. Big win, I think what he's saying. Look, I think, yes, look, you can never underestimate a club like East Bentley, State 5. They'd be out for the giant kill, but that's the first obstacle we got to get over. And then once we get over that, Green Gully or Ballarat City, either of those two teams, it would be great to get Green Gully and to defeat our fellow NPL Western Suburban outfit. Speaking of Frankie Ivkovic, we will be featuring his Mini Roos Girls Under-9s team a little bit later on when we do have the Meet the Team segment, and that'll be coming up very shortly. Now, this Friday, as we mentioned, and we'll pop that up again for those of you that are interested in attending maybe even the Heidelberg United versus St. Albans Dinamo clash at the Olympic Village. So that game kicks off, like I said, at 7:30 p.m. this Friday. Now, while that is going to be happening, we've also got the women's playing on at the same time. So the Nike FC Cup Round 3 clash between St. Albans Dinamo and Croydon City. Now, that's going to be held at the Dorset Recreation Reserve this Friday. And guess what? At exactly the same time, 7:30 p.m. So we've got lots of football this Friday for both the senior men's and senior women's teams. So good luck to both the men and to the women as well. Certainly hoping they can do very well. Okay, we're moving along now to the round 9 results. And these games were played last Thursday at Churchill Reserve. The junior boys NPL pre-qualification phase. Unfortunately, it really turned out to be quite a bad result for all of the teams. In fact, there were 4 losses. That shouldn't be a draw, the 16s. I wish it was, but the 14s lost 4-0. The 15s lost 5-0. Very formidable opponent, Avondale FC, unfortunately. The under-16s lost 1-0. Good performance there by the 16s. And the under-18s lost 3-1, with the 18s the only team to score a goal. Yanni Apostolikas scoring that goal. Sorry, Yanni, if I've just mispronounced your name incorrectly. This week, the big Croatian derby, North Geelong Warriors hosting our Dinamovci. Good luck to Dinamo, all the Dinamo teams as they travel down the Princess Highway to Alco Park. This Sunday, the 14s kickstart the proceedings at 9:30, followed by the 15s at 11:10. Then we've got the 16s at 1 p.m. and then the under-18s at 3 p.m. So if we take a look at the ladders at the moment, with 2 rounds to go of the qualification phase, in the under-14s, Dinamo find themselves in 8th position. In the 15s, also in the 8th position. So if things stay the way they are, both the 14s and the 15s will be playing in Division 3. Over the page, we go to the 16s. The 16s find themselves in 9th position. Same thing, they'd be looking at a berth in Division 3. And Dinamo under 18s at the moment are in 7th position with a few good performances over the next 2 rounds. They could jump certainly into that 2nd division, which would be very good for the 18s. But they've been doing very well. The coaches tell me they just haven't been putting the goals away and haven't been recording wins, but the performances have been quite encouraging. So fingers crossed the 18s can do the club proud and qualify for the 2nd division. Speaking of juniors, we've got the I&D Cup happening, or I&D Gala Day happening this Sunday at St Albans Dynamo's Churchill Reserve. Always a big day, always a massive, massive day with lots and lots of people throughout the day. Under 7s right through to the under 13s, Mini Roos boys and girls, and the junior boys and girls as well, a part of it as well. And that pretty much, I think, finishes off our news desk, I would say. Once again, there was that detail about the Australia Cup. Do stay attuned to all the social media posts. We've got lots of news, lots of information. We're doing lots of multiple posts as well because there's so much happening. And a big shout out and cheerio to all of the guys in the media team working behind the scenes. Anthony, Christina, John, I dare say I've missed a few, no doubt. Ian as well, Anthony Smallich with the juniors as well. There's so much happening behind the scenes and so much information. So whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, do check in regularly because we've got lots and lots of information each coming through. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we've got the Meet the Team, and we've also got a very, very interesting From the Vault segment, and then it's time for our first guest. Folks, don't go away.
Keep going. Good. Yes.
And that was a short clip from the Football Tech training camp promo that's currently doing the rounds on social media. And yes, this Monday and Tuesday, all roads lead to Churchill Reserve yet again, when St Albans Dynamo, as proud camp partners of Football Tech, will be staging a 2-day junior intensive training camp for juniors. And to find out all about that and what Football Tech is, in fact, it's absolute pleasure to welcome Devante Kloot to DinamoTV. Devante, welcome to DinamoTV. How are you?
I'm great, mate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure, mate. Now, you've got a very, very famous name because you've turned out in the past for our sister club, Sydney United, and you were part of that memorable FA Cup final or the Australia Cup final a couple of years back up there at Combank Stadium. But, mate, tell us a little bit about your footballing journey before we talk about Football Tech.
Yeah, I had a great 4 or 5 years at United. We had some good experiences there, making it all the way to the cup final.
Yep.
But I think for the club, that was a big achievement, and for how much they've achieved at that club as a whole, I think it's really good to small slice of that. But previously to that, I was in A-League for about 6 years, and then did a lot of my in the Southwest.
Yeah. Now, at Sydney United, you linked up with Glenn Trefiro, and he, along with his brother Jason, they formed and founded Football Tech. Tell us how you got into that coaching side of things, and what do you do at Football Tech?
Yeah, so Football Tech created an opportunity for me when I transitioned back from the A-League. Obviously, that's a little bit of football that some people talk about, but nobody talks about is the reality of fun work. You know? If you are a little bit unsuccessful in having a long career in the league, but they opened the doors for me, welcomed me back as I was a Football Tech junior myself, and just showed me the ropes of how they coach and what the environment is like, and really made it easier for me.
Excellent. Well, we've got some footage here of Football Tech for some training academies. One of them is, in fact, one of your teams. Take us through this.
Yeah, so this first clip is of Noah, who's one of our young players in the program. So we provide, outside of our full-time program, one-on-ones and small group training, so privatized training, as well as term programs which are open and available to anyone that would like extra work. So similar to the approach now in Melbourne, where we're opening a holiday camp opportunity, where players can come and join us and get to see how we kind of do things. And our style is unique, and our approach is very unique as well.
Yep.
So it's a good opportunity for everyone to be a part of that and see how we do. So this last clip with the triangle in the middle is inside our World Class HQ facility, and that's my under 18, as I mentioned. So that's my under 7s and 8s. And Saturday inside the facility is like a mixed technique and movement day. There's a lot of movement where they're jumping and having the movement to balance their body. And this is very different to what you see in the camps, but what HQ allows us to be a bit more creative and where they tick a lot of boxes in terms of what they're learning in their technique. And you'll see that the kids, regardless of their motivation on the day, they are always quite excited to be inside HQ. So we're lucky to be able to provide them that, and the kids make the most of it whilst they have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Now, every year, Football Tech organises an invitational tournament up in Sydney, where pretty much the best of the junior talent around, certainly around the Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, come along to that tournament. And it's very, very high quality, very, very professionally organised, and what you know. Tell us when are the tournaments happening this year?
The date, I think, is to be confirmed. I think people can express the interest for that tournament.
Yep.
But we do run it out of United Sports Centre.
Yep.
Actual home of Sydney United. So pretty special environment for the players. But they're playing on a main stadium, obviously a very good facility, and it's a full day or 2 days age group of just really where, because it's invite only, we try and the tournament as high and as competitive as possible.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we've got a slide here with the information for the camp that's going to be held in Melbourne next Monday and next Tuesday from 9:30 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. each day. There at Churchill Reserve. There are two divisions or two camps, if you like, a junior and a senior one. Two age groups, if you like, from 5 till 11 is the juniors, and the seniors from 12 to 16. Do they differ much? In the way that you run the camps, or are they pretty similar for both the juniors and the seniors?
Now, so they're based on obviously what the numbers look like for those age categories, but we have a very similar approach where we'll try and do all round coverage of the technique, so the dribbling, a bit of passing, then maybe some bigger passing senior camps, but it's more so each time that...
Oh, we seem to have lost you. For more information, as we try and get Devante back online, we've got all the information, all the registration details are at the website, www.footballtech.com.au. That's www.footballtech.com.au. Numbers are looking good at the moment, but we could always go for a little bit better numbers. And I think we've got Devante on the line. I'm just talking about the numbers. The numbers are pretty good to registration, but there's still room if people wanted to register last minute.
Yeah, definitely still room. So if you want to find out more information, we have all the information on the website, but our lines are always open for anyone to call in and text as well.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic. I'm really looking forward to yourself, the Trifiro brothers, Glenn and Jason, coming down as well. And how many people are coming down as part of the coaching staff?
So we'll have 5 head coaches coming. So all of us on a full-time basis with the academy. Obviously, Glenn and Jason, of course. We'll have 5. So we definitely have options and qualified to be able to make the best possible camp.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that. I think it's going to be fantastic. Hopefully the Melbourne weather can hold up as well. It's been kind of crazy the last couple of days, but prior to that, over the Easter weekend, we had some lovely, lovely weather. But, you know, it's always a lottery when you get to Melbourne this time of year, I guess. But, mate, thanks very much for taking some time out of your busy schedule and telling us a little bit more about the Football Tech program as well as the upcoming clinic next week.
Thanks, mate.
Really appreciate it. Devante Clute from Football Tech, and as he said, there are 4 full-time coaches, plus there'll be another one as well making their way down to Melbourne for next week. So that website, again, if you want more information or if you'd like to register your child, www.footballtech.com.au. Okay, we'll be back shortly after this break. Don't go away. It's DinamoTV, episode 12 of our very, very first season. And boy, we've got a lot coming up straight after this. Very, very short.
Westar Prestige is a family-owned second-generation business which is celebrating 50 years of operations this year. They're a specialist prestige collision repair facility situated in the western suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria. However, they service all regions in the state, with many of their clients travelling from far and wide to use their services. They're also able to provide a digital platform for quoting clients' vehicles who are unable to personally attend their premises. They're an authorised manufacturer-approved repair facilities for Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Peugeot and Suzuki, and are proud of their ongoing affiliation with these brands. They also work closely with a number of Australia's largest insurance brands who entrust them to be part of their preferred repairer network. Their support staff are always happy to assist clients from the initial process of lodging claims through to the final stages of collection of the vehicle on completion of repairs and post-repair. So remember, for all your prestige collision repair needs, consider Westar Prestige, an award-winning, long-standing Australian-owned business.
Welcome back to DinamoTV. Before we go for the live crossover to Churchill Reserve, I apologise for those for the very poor audio. Unfortunately, we had some issues there with Devante's Wi-Fi off-field Wi-Fi. I guess is the best way to describe it. Off-site Wi-Fi. But yeah, just quickly that information. Football Tech. There we go. Once again, that website, footballtech.com.au. Stepan Gal as well in the comments section has put a link up as well. So you can actually click on that link to find out more information and to also not only just find out more information, but to register as well. So that is fantastic. That is going to be one hell of an excellent clinic for the youngsters. Some very, very good quality training, coaching as well. As we said, as we heard, I should say, 4 of those 5 coaches coming down are full-time professionals. So, yeah, very, very highly credentialed, very, very highly regarded coaches. We're going to be speaking with 3 members of the senior men's team. We'll be speaking to Luca Chabraya, who scored his first senior goal, in fact. Nicholas Murray, also from the under-23s, who had an opportunity and really grasped it with both hands in their cup clash against Geelong Rangers last Thursday. We'll also be talking to senior team squad member and Afghani national team member Zalfi Nazari a little bit later on. But it's before we do that, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome back to the show Jason Zeri, the Senior Football Operations Manager. Jason, always great to hear from you. But let's talk about, first of all, good evening and welcome to DinamoTV.
Good evening, Tonch. How are you going?
Yeah, good, mate, good. First of all, let's talk about Friday night's game, Heidelberg at the Olympic Village. Always a tough game when we come up against them, but there was a good little momentum that was built up before the Easter break as far as the league action is concerned. What's the feeling in the dressing rooms heading into Friday night's big round 8 clash?
Yeah, look, the feeling in the change room is pretty good. Obviously, coming off a pretty solid 3 weeks in regards to performances. Sort of obviously hit our straps against Geelong Rangers in the Cup in between. So it's been a pretty positive 3 weeks, obviously leading up into Friday's match against Heidelberg. They're always obviously a tough opponent, whether you play them at home or away. But we've had a pretty even stretch of results versus them over the last probably 5 or 6 years. It's been, we win one, they win one, we draw one, and then it sort of goes around in circles a bit. We're probably a bit unlucky to lose against them in the cup last year in 5 minutes of the game. So, we're obviously looking forward to meeting them again and hopefully making up for that game last year.
Yeah, who can forget that game? Now, I'm speaking of the Cup. East Bentley, according to my research, State League 5 East Division, I think they're currently 3rd at the moment. So on paper, you would say a very easy game, but we hate that term cup sets, especially if we're the hot favourites. Was there a little bit of excitement, elation, or was there maybe a little bit of relief pulling in a not so difficult on paper?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, when you look at the draw and let's call it a spade, you kind of look at the draw, and as you go through, you're always, I guess, hoping to get an opponent that's, from a lower division. That's notwithstanding the fact that they're always going to be tough anyway. I mean, It's been proven in the past, not just ourselves, but other clubs where you play, you might be an NPL, you might be playing against a State League 2 or 3 or even 4 and still can be knocked out. So if you don't turn up to the races, you're not going to win. So we've got to be switched on irrespective of who we're playing. Looking forward to that clash. We haven't nominated a date for that as yet, but first things first, I suppose this week is the focus mainly is on Friday night's game against Heidelberg, and then obviously as we draw closer to that cup game, we'll be working on preparing for that as well as possible. I guess at this time of the year, you're sort of wanting to make sure that you've got as many players in the squad available as you can to be able to sort of rotate a little bit through when you do have the cup games. And look, we did that pretty well this week with bringing a few of the younger boys from the under 23s who are part of our senior roster as well to the fold for the game against the Geelong Rangers, and all three of them did really, really well. So and I know you're going to speak to them a little bit later in the show today, but it was great to see them take part in that game, and all three flourished. So it was quite positive, and that's part of the process, and part of, I guess, what we spoke about earlier in the year about trying to bring these kids through, and these are the opportunities that they get.
Yeah, now we will be speaking with Luca Chabraya, scorer of his first senior goal, and Nicholas Murray. And who was the third player as well that stepped up?
So Nicholas De Bono also played in that game. So it was Nicholas De Bono, Luca Chabraya, and Nicholas Murray. Again, they're part of our senior squad, but also part of the 23s.
Yep.
It was again, a pleasure to watch them play and be part of it, but also, and I've mentioned it a few times this week, I think it was Luca's goal. The lead up to that goal was actually started from the right back from De Bono, went up the field on the right-hand side, passed it to Maury, who took a couple of players on, cut it across to Chabraya, and he scored. So it was you couldn't write that script if you tried. So it was pretty good to see all three involved in the one goal.
Brilliant. Well, we're going to be speaking to Luca and Nicholas Murray very, very shortly. So we'll allow you, Jason, to swap seats with them. But in the meantime, thank you for jumping in at such short notice and giving us a little bit of an insight into the feeling in the dressing room.
Thanks, Tonch. Have a good one. Cheers.
Good on you. Jason Zeri, he's the senior football operations manager. And what a great job he does. He's entering his 10th season as well. And what a ripper job he's been doing throughout not just this 2024 season, but over the last few years. Well, it brings me great pleasure now to bring on to the to DinamoTV two members of the under 23s team. We've got Luca Chabraya, scorer of his very, very first senior goal, and Nicholas Murray. Gentlemen, how are we? Good to have you on the show.
Good evening.
Yeah, good.
Now we'll put you up there nice and there. Now, all right, which one's Nicholas and which one's Luca? Nicholas, which one are you? Right there. And Luca there. First of all, Luca, over to you, mate. Congratulations on scoring your first senior goal. You've been doing really well yourself, Nicholas, as well. Have been scoring goals in the 23s. But, mate, what was it like? What was the feeling like when you scored your first goal?
Thank you very much. It was a great feeling, as it's been a big lead up to get our opportunity. So we've been trying really hard to get this opportunity, and it came and we just took it. And I think we've done pretty well.
Well, I mean, it's a good win, 6-1 in the end. And was it as easy? Nicholas, I'll ask you. Was it as easy a win as you expected, or were you a bit surprised with the scoreline? Did you expect a little bit more of a fight from Rangers, or how did you see it?
Well, 6-1 is pretty big margin. I definitely didn't think it was going to be 6-1. Probably maybe like 3-0 maybe. Like I was expecting us to have a big win coming from, I think, being State League 2 and us being NPL. Like we were just destroying them all game. But yeah, we played real well, and obviously happy to get a goal and contribute.
Yeah. Now, Nicholas, you've come from. Tell us a little bit about your story. You've got an interesting story, and I'm told you're no relation to the great Frogger Murray, Damien Murray, who used to many years ago tear up the pitches in the National Soccer League.
Nah, no relation there. I come from Shep, which is like a hour and 40 drive to training and games every week, which isn't too bad. You get used to it after a while, but yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's all worth it in the end.
So you're staying the night up here in Melbourne, or you are you not flying? Oh, flying maybe 120 kilometres an hour on the highway back to Shepparton.
Nah, I'll just drive back with the parents tonight and probably get around 10:30, 11. Like, it's not too bad.
Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah. Is it a nice, easy run at this time of night?
Yeah, it's not too busy. It's just straight roads all ahead, so it's nothing too bad.
Luca, now tell us a bit your story. Though, did you start with Dinamo from the juniors, or have you come to the club in recent years?
So I started off at Dinamo at under 11s, I think it was, with Luke. Yeah, under 11s, and I've basically been here ever since. And my whole youth, I've pretty much been here.
Yeah.
And I made it to the under 23s recently, and I think that was last year, and just recently I've got the senior contract here. So
fantastic. Yeah. So did you play anywhere else before the under 11s, or you started playing soccer at under 11s?
Under 5s to under 10s, I was at Carnley FC. I think they're called Albion Rovers now.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I played a tournament once. We played against Dinamo, and then I think I got scouted. I think you could say.
Got scouted at a young age, at the age of 10, thereabouts.
Yeah, exactly right.
Your first recognition. Well, mate, this is probably just the start of things for both of you. So congratulations once again. You guys have done an incredible job. Young players sometimes are given the opportunity and they don't grasp it. You both grasped that opportunity, so well done to you. And we certainly look forward to hearing more about you. But it's great to also have Adam Tenanini, your coach, and Ian Burke as well, one of our DinamoTV reporters, doing such a great job. And they give us regular weekly insights into your performance. And well done. You seem to be doing really, really well for quite a young side, the under-23s.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right then, fellas, we'll leave you to it. Thank you for joining us here on DinamoTV.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Two lovely, lovely young gentlemen doing a fantastic job. And it's great to have them on the show. Like I said, they were given that opportunity and they really, really grasped it with both arms. So well done to them. Now we will be talking to our next guest. Will be Zelfi Nazari, who will be talking to us very, very shortly. He will be as he's getting himself ready. We're going to take a very, very quick commercial break. But Zelfi just came back from a international World Cup qualifier last week, where he played for his Afghanistan national team, and they defeated India, coached by former Croatian international and Hajduk Split legend Igor Stimac. So we'll find out a little bit more about that straight after this commercial break. Folks, don't go away. It is DinamoTV. Welcome back to DinamoTV. It is time for our last guest tonight. But before we do talk to our final guest, just a quick plug for I&D Gala Day this Sunday at Churchill Reserve, when we welcome the 4 other Croatian-backed clubs and their mini roos and junior teams: Strathmore Split, North Geelong Warriors, Dandenong City, and Melbourne Knights. They'll be all converging on Churchill Reserve for the traditional IND Gala Day, a wonderful, wonderful pre-season event for all of our mini-roos and juniors from Dinamo and our 4 sister clubs, our 4 Croatian community-backed sister clubs around Victoria. It's time now for our last guest, and what a guest he is. It's our very own international footballer, and we don't have too many of those in the NPL Victoria competition, but the following following guest is certainly one of those, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome our senior men's team player and a team member of the Afghani national team, Zalfi Nazari. Zalfi, welcome to DinamoTV, and it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, we're really enjoying you having you on the show. So thank you once again for joining us, mate. How was it? Tell us all about it. I think we've got some footage. We might run that as well. But how was it? First of all, playing for Afghanistan in a World Cup qualifier, but then actually winning a game as well. How did you feel?
Yeah, it's always an honor and privilege to represent Afghanistan. Yeah, and to win the game, especially away from home, was awesome. It was a long time coming, but something we deserved as well. The boys worked hard, played really well. Both games. In the first game in Saudi, we got a bit unlucky, you could say. Got a draw 0-0, but in the second game, the boys got the job done, so it was awesome.
There we go. We got some footage that we aired on last week's show. And a nice little message there. Congratulations to you. So well done. Mate, what's a standard like? I mean, all right, it's an international, it's a World Cup qualifier. We expect the standard to be quite high because it's the best players from each country. But I guess if you were to compare it to a normal, average, run-of-the-mill NPL Victoria game, how different was the standard, question one? And question two, how hard to adapt to that difference?
The standards, obviously, it's a little bit higher. Just little things, the intensity, just everything is much more faster. But before we go to the game, we had around 10 days to prepare for the game. So they make sure your fitness level is nice and high before the game. So they'll push
and where
you.
was that? Was that in Afghanistan? Was it in India? Was it somewhere else?
No, because of the situation back home, all our home games we're playing in Saudi.
Yep.
A city called Aba, which is an hour on the flight from Jeddah, from the capital city.
Mm-hmm. And what you said, the intensity is obviously quite higher. The speed, there's so much more at stake, no doubt. What about playing in front of like a larger crowd, than what you expected? Does that lift you that extra, certain amount of certain amount of levels? How does that feel? Or is it, do you get a little bit nervous? Do you get a bit scared, so to speak?
Obviously, at the start, my first couple of games, I was getting a bit nervous, but it's normal, but it's nice to play in front of a big crowd. But once the game starts, you don't really pay attention to the crowd. It's always just, you get going with the game. But yeah, it's always nice to play in front of a big crowd, especially when it's your home crowd. But sometimes the away crowd can be vocal. But yeah, nothing less, it's always a good experience.
But it's nothing like playing in front of the hill there at Churchill Reserve, is it? They're vocal enough. They put you in good training for the World Cup qualifier.
You can never match that.
You can never match that. What a great answer that was. Zalfi, let's turn our attention now to matters closer to home here, I guess. This Friday, Heidelberg United, a game. It's a really important game, isn't it? It's a tough game. And if we have a look at the competition standing, and we'll just bring that up on screen there now. 10th position at the moment. Heidelberg obviously in the top 6, but look, only 2 games ahead. So a win here will draw you so much closer to that top 6, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. As you can see the table, there's not much difference between the first and the top 6. The 6th place to the 10th place. It's only a couple of points, so a win would give us a lot to go, especially against Heidelberg. The last couple of years, we've gone there and got good results. I know they've changed the management and stuff, but the boys are confident. I'm confident that we can go and get a positive result.
And what about yourself? You pull up all right after the World Cup qualifier with any niggly injuries or anything like that, or the travel or anything like that? How are you feeling?
No, I'm feeling good. Yes, after the long travel, I was a little bit tired, but I had a couple of days rest, which was good. But back to training, the routine has been the same. So looking forward to the Friday night game.
Yeah, it should be fun. When did you actually touch down?
I touched down on Thursday night. Thursday night it was around 11:30 at night.
Yeah. There was no jet lag, no nothing, none of that sort of stuff, no?
Not really. Kind of used to the long flights as well. So, yeah.
Excellent, mate. Well, we wish you, first of all, congratulations on the win and the performance in the World Cup qualifier. But secondly, also, all the very, very best for the next phase, the next stage of the World Cup qualifiers, but also the next few games with Dinamo, as we spoke with Jason Zeri. It's going to be a big month or so with both Cup and League games as well coming up for Dinamo.
Thank you. And also I just want to say thank you to the club for giving me the permission to travel with the national team as well, which helps me a lot. That always been, supported me with the national team along the way. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you to Dinamo.
Good on you, mate. Well, Zelfi Nazari, he's an international. Last week we had an international guest. This week we've got an international player. DinamoTV truly is an international podcast. So thank you, Zelfi, for joining us this week.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good on you. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back very, very shortly after this very short break just to wrap things up. That's right, we're back, and that brings us to the end of another compelling episode of DinamoTV. We will be back to our regular Thursday night time slot next week. So next Thursday, 8:30 p.m., we will be back to more familiar time. But in the meantime, some big games happening both for our juniors, our mini roos, our senior women's, and our senior men. So lots of football coming up this weekend. Until next Thursday night, thank you for being a part of DinamoTV. My name is Tonchi Prusats, and good night.